This is the 2014 Infiniti Q50, which is the new name for the G37, an all-new model for 2014, and it contains a number of new technologies. But the big news is this is the world's first production car with steer-by-wire technology. Infiniti now names all of its vehicles starting with a Q, so this is the vehicle that you may have known as the old G37. Still has that 3.7 V6, now making 328 horsepower and 269 foot-pounds of torque, mated to a new 7-speed automatic transmission. The Q50 comes in rear-wheel drive, which starts at 37.5, or in all-wheel drive. That's what we have here. This is the top-line one, and it rings in at 51,750. You can also get it in a hybrid version, which also comes in rear-wheel drive or in all-wheel drive. And if you get top of the line there, you're looking at 56,450. The Q50 also comes in a sport model, but there's no extra power on that. It's just a trim package with a little bit of extra bling. Now, the big news with this vehicle is the first use of steer-by-wire on a production vehicle. And what that means is there's no mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the front wheels. Instead, it's a series of electric motors. When I turn the wheel, there's an actuator that figures out exactly how far I've turned it, and it sends that information to a motor that turns the front wheels. You might say, well, what happens in an emergency? In that case, there's a clutch that will instantly grab and provide a mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the front wheels, so we're not going to go off the side of a cliff. Now, steer-by-wire, it doesn't save weight. The system's actually a little bit heavier than a conventional system. What it does is it allows engineers to dial in different steering feel, different steering weights. They'll also be able to use it for other features, such as lane departure, where they can steer you back if you start to veer out of your lane, and eventually even autonomous driving, which is no driver at all. Just you sit back and take your hands off the wheel. On this model, you can select different steering feel from light to heavy. You can also adjust the steering response from comfort, which is what you'd want on the highway where you don't want a twitchy feel, right to quick when you're doing the twisties and you really want to get that instant response from the steering wheel. Some people like it. I'm not too keen on this one. It really feels artificial. The light steering feels floppy. When you've got it in heavy, you're just basically pushing the car around with no reward at all. It's going to get better. All of these systems do. Right now, I think it's still not quite where it wants to be. The new styling inside gives it a very handsome cabin. Nice sweeping lines, nice steering wheel, nice size to it, easy to read instrument cluster. And in the middle, we have this large screen. It's actually two screens. The top screen is primarily navigation if the car is equipped with it, and you can control that either with a control dial on the console or with a touch screen. The secondary screen, which controls your settings and your applications, is a touch screen. There are also 3 buttons so that you can quickly access audio, the main menu, or your climate control. Some of the technology features on this car include adaptive cruise control, which maintains a set distance behind the vehicle in front, and a collision mitigation system. If you're about to smack into something at low speed, it will actually stop the car entirely. The seats are very comfortable, and the rear seat is roomy. It's got a good quality feel to it. Fit and finish is good. Although one thing I did notice, I've been in cars that are quieter. The cabin does let in a fair bit of road noise. Overall, the Q50 is a decent package. A lot of it depends on how much technology you want, and it gets expensive when you throw a lot in. And technology is always getting better, and the artificial feel in this steer-by-wire is going to get better as well. I don't think it's there yet, but it's up to you. Give this a test drive and see what you think.